Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, and you might be wondering why I am in the load game screen. Well, it is because we have a possible candidate for the game of the year. I know it is only April, that is a bold claim, but I found this rec on the Free Food Party Discord, Lakota versus Brit, game of the year. And I just had to check it out. So here we are on Vistula Plain. Let's dive right in with the civilization intros. In the south of the map, playing in the color red as the British, we have Mao Dun hovering around the 1800 ELO mark, picking up 50 coin. And is he going to compound that into the early market? Let's see. Yes. Oh, my prediction was correct, and they hardly ever are, so that felt good. And in the north of the map, playing in the color blue as the Lakota, we have Aussie route line. I'm just going to go with Aussie and Mao for the remainder of this recorded game. But we have two S-tier civs here, of course, Brit and Lakota. I would definitely say in the top 5, probably with Aztec and Auto. And then I guess it's kind of interchangeable what you want that fifth civ to be. But yeah, really, really cool to see two such strong civs going at it. And on a great map. I love Vistula Basin. Vistula? I got no idea. Let me know in the comments, right? It's got all of those little flavor things you see in DE, right? It's got the windmills that you can claim for extra food trickle. It's got the trading posts. It's got the natives. It's got House of Vetten. God, there's so many European names I can't pronounce on this map. And what's the other native? It's the House of Vasa. So actually two pretty solid natives as well. We might be seeing the Torp play come out from the trading post from either player. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I feel like this is a game where Lakota is going to determine a lot of the pace, depending on if they go really heavy with the rush or if they go for something a bit more FF. Not saying that Britain can't try to rush on their own, but in this matchup, I've always seen Britain kind of be the more passive player, go a little bit boomier, do nothing super, super aggressive. But there it is, that Lakota. God, I hate that Lakota scout, Chola. Picking up a war dog, already has 2 gunmen, and this army is swelling in ranks. Look at how fast she freaking is. Oh, I can't stand the Lakota Explorer. But 3 settlers now coming in for Lakota. Ooh, an interesting deck, very military heavy, and has some real powerhouse shipments in H3. They do have the 16 Wakinas, which gives you 2 Warhut Travois as well, which just, is that not insane for a card? That's like 500 resources plus 16 Wakina. And then we also have the 6 Axe Riders, which comes with the Axe Rider upgrade. So 2 very, very powerful cards, not just your standard Mercs money for, units kind of shipments. And let's see what Brit's doing here. Let's take a look at Mao's deck. He's got what looks to be a pretty boomy deck. I'm not seeing any GMT madness. I'm not seeing any crazy FI play. Well, I guess he does have the potential for GMT, but he hasn't started with the true trading posts. So we're probably not going to be seeing any of the Highlanders or Tomahawks. And wow, he's collecting a lot of wood. Is he going to Manor Boom? He does have Virginia Company, though he has not sent it yet. He's going up with the governor. Yeah, I'm feeling, I don't know, just in my gut, I'm feeling something boomy here, ladies and gentlemen. Already starting to put manors on the crossing points of the map. I really, really like that play. I wish more Brit players would do that at the lower levels, right? I think, that temptation to, I don't want to walk my villagers. Well, the amount of scouting you're going to get is more than worth the little bit of walking that your villagers are going to have to do, because now any cavalry or infantry try to get across from this side and raid into the back of his base, he is going to be seeing that immediately. But that does not look to be where the aggression is coming from. It looks like it's going to come from right here. Warhut Foundation already going down for Aussie, who is going up with the chief. And we're seeing a Vil raid here before the second age. We have a musketeer, 2 gunmen, the dog, who is named Baraccio. and the Lakota Explorer. Now, normally this would not be something to worry about, but the sheer amount of firepower here, is he going to pick off a Vil at the 4-minute 30 mark? I don't know. Is there any refuge in the near area? No, there's no way she is getting back to that town center in time. She is down to 8 HP, and she is definitely down for the count as her partner begins to chop wood. Okay, that's an interesting way to grieve. But barracks and outpost already down, so great response here by Mao. Not freaking out, just getting down the defensive buildings that he needs to get. And look at this, the 4 Axe Riders followed up by the Club Warriors, and this is going to be a very aggressive push. Nice shooting with the Guardian there. Nice micro, bringing the villagers in and out. You don't want those guys to be soaking up TC fire, so the fact that you can kill them with Vils is a nice little play there by Mao. And, of course, villagers continuing to come out, but there's a lot of bell time here, and it really is going to stifle the British economy. And these villagers can be used somewhat to deal with the warriors, but as soon as the Axe Riders get involved, they have to bell themselves up. He doesn't want to lose too many here. It's 16 Vils for Lakota and 19 Vils for Brett. Only 40 manor population, although he did send 700 wood as his first card. Maybe a bit of a miss there. I feel like 6 Musks would have been far more effective in the immediate situation. I mean, 6 longbows, that really wouldn't have done much, but yeah, that 6 Musk card feels like a bit of a miss there by Mao. Maybe he feels like he can sneak in the 700 wood and just rely on a couple of muskets plus militia. He does still have his militia that he can call out. So, I mean, maybe he'll be able to get away with this. And look at this. The manors are already going down at the north of his base. And he's putting up a little bit of a wall here as well. He has the outpost that he can flee to, but this town center is under serious threat. These warriors, they have 30 siege attack plus the 20 siege attack from the Axe Riders, and not saying it could take out the town center immediately, but without the outpost in range, without Minutemen being called, and with only a couple of muskets here, I don't know, is he going to lose this TC at the 6-minute 30 mark? I don't know. There's no way the game of the year ends in 8 minutes, right? Am I being trolled right now? And he sent 600 wood. Oh my God, greedy, the ultimate greed. And that feels like a definite mistake. I mean, the first one fell, but not sending 6 Musk when you're obviously being pushed here. I don't know, Mao. Maybe he feels like he can pull off some sort of magical timing here. He's got 1 shipment left. Is he going to send the 6 Musks? What is he waiting for? Minutemen now coming out along with Greatcoats. Is he going to combo this into a villager pull? Minutemen coming out, immediately targeting the C10 bows. Villagers coming out as well to body block. And Lakota going to do a nice job here. Aussie knows that is not a fight that would be ideal for his units. Of course, Lakota infantry, very cheap in H2, but also very flimsy. And he's going to get away and let those Minutemen degrade. So the town center, it looks like it's going to be saved with 1,200 HP. And I guess I owe Mao an apology. He gets away with the 7 and the 600 wood, though just by the skin of his teeth. 6 longbowmen now coming out. The wall and the longbow combo. It really is deadly. But now Lakota coming in here. He smells blood in the water. He does not want to lose the momentum of this push on the TC. And yes, those longbow are about to arrive, but there's still a couple of pretty healthy Axe Riders here in the mix for Lakota. And there's really only a few muskets, enough for the C10 bows to handle. But now the villagers being pulled. And again, really nice micro here by Mao. He's done an excellent job using his villagers, and now he's going to try to use them to snare the Lakota units. And these British villagers have done more work militarily than any of the actual military units, though it has cost him a lot of bell time. Now, he has had a decent amount of Vils working over here and over here as well, but I mean, half of his economy has just spent a lot of time belled up in the TC. And I guess it really hasn't affected his score. Look, he's got a 2,300 score lead. So where's Lakota going to push next? He's going to try to go north here. He realizes that this town center, this area is just a bottleneck, and that he can't afford to go here anymore. Though he did take out the TC, which I guess that was a really big win. I didn't notice that the TC was taken out, but going to take out the TC and the outpost, and that's going to feel good for him. That's really going to slow Brit down. Yes, he can still get out manors, but he's not going to be able to send shipments, and he's not going to be able to continue producing villagers in the natural way. currently 27-23. So Lakota already catching up, and I would love to see Aussie compound this into a timing into H3. I think if he hangs around any longer in H2, he's kind of playing into Brit's hands. You know, Brit's going to be able to get out that critical amount of Musketeers, start mixing in Hussars, and it's just really not going to be a good engagement for Lakota. So it looks like he's sending the 700 coin, hopefully is going to use that to get into H3. He did pick up one of the mills here and a trading post as well, and continuing to use these teepees to buff his gathering rate, which is a nice touch by him as well. And a lot of players that are new to Lakota, they don't utilize these teepees to, boost their gathering rate, which is something you really need to do. When you have those little civ bonuses, you can't leave them out because, you're just making your civ weaker compared to players who are going to utilize those bonuses. And now the Lakota Explorer has been picked up. That's going to be a nice take. And are we going to see a Vil raid here? I thought that Mao was going to see this. One villager going down, one certainly going to go down as well, and that's going to be 3 total villagers, I think. Let's see. Yes, that villager is going to be killed. 700 coin now landing at the second British TC. And so I wonder if Mao is also trying to get into H3, kind of getting the Lakota army split here. But man, these club warriors are so quick. 5.5 speed for hand infantry. And they're going to be able to get out there pretty scot-free. Picked up 3 villagers, scouted the coin, and didn't really lose much in the engagement. So, I mean, Aussie continuing to utilize this pressure. He really has boxed Mao in, though Mao really hasn't taken significant losses. I mean, he has lost to TC, a handful of villagers. So I guess, I'm wrong there. The losses have been pretty substantial. Sending 6 musks now. Which honestly at this point maybe not even worth it. Maybe, sending your Musk attack card would probably be better. Scott's Guard would be better at this point. And what is he using that 700 coin for? He just had it. Did he already get rid of it? Where did all that 700 coin go? What did he invest in? I'm so curious. 400 coin is already gone? Did he just use it for Musketeers? Is that what he did? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments below if you know where that coin went. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lakota is now going up with the Wise Woman. And like I said, he's going to have some access to some brutal shipments here. If he's able to get out the Lakota support, or even, the 9 Wakinas along with some rifle riders, it's just going to dump on these H2 Musketeers. And now it looks like Brit deciding to move out on his own right as Lakota is claiming another mill. And this is exactly what he needs to do, right? He's going to be able to catch Aussie in an awkward position here where he's just dumped 2,200 resources into aging. And this is where Mao, who has been investing in more Musketeers and I believe some Hussars as well, he's going to be able to push and maybe do some damage of his own here. But he'll have to use it wisely because he doesn't have a ton of time here. This is a small window, and let's see if Brit can use it. He's got a lot of units here. He's got 32 Musk, 16 Longbow, and he's still got 4 Minutemen mixed in. And it looks like all of these Lakota H2 units are going to be sacrificed. I almost wonder if that's a worthwhile trade for Aussie. I think almost maybe kind of trying to run these guys around. Maybe you can save this war hut in this market. Maybe just buy yourself some time to get into H3, because if this army barrels into the Lakota base, it's going to cause a lot of damage. Though there's really not a lot in the Lakota base to attack, now that I say so. A lot of it's up here in the front on this FB. But British army now pushing in. And let's see, Aussie, oh God, he's so close to H3, and he's got a shipment ready to go. It'll be interesting to see what he goes with first. I would probably say 5 rifle riders would be his first call, but hard to tell. He's still got some of these H2 units in the back of the map. Hopefully can use them to pester the British army, which is probably going, yeah, they're going right for the town center. And look at all those bison coming out, but if this TC goes down, that shipment of bison isn't going to be nearly as valuable. And it looks like, oh my God, he already has the coin for Lakota support. I thought he would need some time to get all of those resources put together, but it looks like he's been chopping a ton of coin, mining a ton of coin in transition, which means the Lakota support is going to hit, and those 16 Wakinas with the 2 War Hut Travois, that is going to be probably enough to stabilize, honestly. I mean, I know Wakinas are not the best skirmisher. I know they're not as good as like forest prowlers, but still against H2 musks, and these musks, as far as I know, yeah, they still don't have any upgrades on them, so they're not going to be overly strong. There's really not enough cav here to pose a significant threat. And it looks like Mao is now going up to H3 as well with the Adventurer. So he's going to use this time to transition as well. 32 Vils versus 26. And wow, we can really see the effects of the early pressure. I mean, Brit at 14 minutes, only 32 Vils. That's quite shocking. But I mean, Aussie, he's still 5K score down. And I'm just wondering, like, why is he so far down? Is it just because of the H2 units from Brit? Is it because of the villager lead? I don't know. Getting some elite rifle riders out as well. So now the Lakota army looks like it could be ready to engage here. These British units, it's going to be a while, right? He's not even halfway aged yet, and none of these units shadow tech. So he's going to have to buy veteran longbow, buy veteran musketeer, and buy veteran hussar. Whereas a lot of these units for Lakota have shadow teched immediately. And yeah, I wonder how long Aussie's going to wait before he takes an engagement. I hope, for his sake, it's not too long. He's got some reinforcing rifle riders here, and it looks like that is what he was waiting for. The push is incoming, more rifle riders coming out. And of course, these guys are insanely good, but also insanely expensive. These guys are 210 resources, a lot of that being coin. So they cannot be wasted. You cannot just dump them into longbow fire. Going to catch this 1 rating Hussar. I like that there. Going to make sure that his backline is secure. And it looks like Mao is going to get into H3 fairly safely, still at 32 villagers and still on the 1 TC. And he's got a lot of exposed economy out here. He's continuing to build walls, but of course, ever since the update, how long ago was that? I can't remember what update made walls significantly weaker. They are not as much of a game changer as they used to be. And Mao, oh God, was that a bird? What the freak? A bird just flew in front of my screen. Oh man, I've never had that happen. But let's see what he sends. It looked like, what was he trying to send? Was he going to send an upgrade but pulled it back? What is he going to send? Trying to send 2 Falcons? Oh God, he's pop capped. Oh my God, he's trying to send 2 Falcons, but he can't because he doesn't have the housing. House desperately trying to go up, but might cost him a Vil here. And a juicy raid by the rifle riders. God, their firing speed, that's so quick. And they're going to be able to get out of there after picking off a Vil, picking off a Hussar as well. And again, remember, none of these units have been upgraded except the longbows. So the musketeers still fairly weak. And even these rifle riders will be able to do a nice bit of damage and a lot of villagers having to be bailed up. And this is exactly what Lakota wants. He wants to keep Brit on the back foot. He doesn't want to allow that economy to boom and fully transition into H3 with all of those upgrades. And you're really going to force Mao to make a decision, right? Do I dump those units or those resources into more units? Or do I try to get that veteran musketeer? Do I try to get that veteran hussar upgrade? Or do I try to get more manners down? Because remember, he's only at 112 out of 120. So if he wants to keep making units, he's got to try to invest in that as well. Longbows continuing to sit behind a wall and do what they do, but there's enough Wakinas there to challenge them. And I think they actually will do well, though. I don't know, mass longbow, it is fairly effective. Rifle riders starting to go down as well to just the sheer number of muskets. And oh, we got a nice little batch of longbows here, putting down a decent bit of damage. And that's going to actually be a significant win for Mao. And these Hussars who are reinforcing, still no veterancy upgrade, are going to push the remaining Wakina out. And I really think that Aussie bit off way more than he could chew in that engagement. I mean, maybe he wanted to take advantage of the fact that Brit was still transitioning, but the sheer amount of veteran longbows. God, I feel like every time I cast a British game with longbows, I underestimate the power of the longbow. And then I just watch Brit like win a fight hard. And I'm reminded, oh yeah, the longbow is an insanely good unit. But let's see what Brit is going to follow that up with. So he sent 10 longbow, now sending 9 musket. Still has 2 falconet, which could be really useful if Aussie continues to mass up Wakinas. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe we kind of saw on display that Wakinas are just not that great of a skirmisher unit compared to, other types. Obviously, forest prowlers, but even like the standard European skirm, I think would have done better in that engagement than those guys did. I mean, they have 20 ranged attack, 30 ranged resist. I mean, their stats are pretty similar to European skirmishers. Is it just their firing speed that's so, I don't know, jilted? I'm not sure. I'm sure the experts in the comments will let me know, though. And 3 Takalas coming out for Ozzy. That might be just what he needs to deal with the mass longbows. Second TC coming up for Mao. And wow, that is really shoved into one corner of the map. One Wakina going to be caught there. Dragoons coming out from Mao as well. That's exactly what he needs. And is he going to try to sneak in that veterancy musket upgrade? That would really bolster his army quite significantly. No, continuing to make dragoons. No veteran muskets yet. Cavalry force from Lakota is going to be running around, but they're going to get themselves bowled in here if they're not careful. Oh, God, British army's approaching. Oh, are they going to get stuck? Maybe they are. I mean, these guys are going to have to start sieging down these walls if they want to get away. Oh, no, I think there's a gap here that they might be able to sneak out. Let's see. No, they're desperately trying to siege down the wall. Meanwhile, the British army flooding in as quickly as possible. Are they going to catch the Takalas? Minutemen being called as well. And they are going to get out in time. Probably are only going to suffer a couple of losses. But now the Dragoons see blood and they are in hot pursuit. Oh no, micro mistake there. He got his Dragoons lumped up with his infantry. And now the Lakota have officially been able to withdraw. Could have been a much more significant win there for Brit, but he does have the veterancy musketeers. He is now sending Coldstream Guard, and we're really, oh no, he's shipping 2 Falconets instead, and we are really starting to see Brit hit their power spike here in the mid game. And how is Lakota doing? He's on 38 Vils compared to 45 for Brit, but Brit's now got 2 TCs to just the 1 from Lakota. Now starting to do a little bit of kiting, and this is the one sort of engagement where these skirmishers will have a significant advantage, because now that Britain is having to press the attack, he's going to be able to use the superior kiting of his skirmishers, and that is the one weakness of the longbow, is their inability to efficiently kite. And Stable now being put under siege here. And yeah, there's just not a lot of units coming out from Lakota. He's got some Axe Riders coming out, but these guys, they are not upgraded. They're one of the units that are not shadow teched. And he's getting, oh God, all of them are grouped up, and the longbows are going to be feasting on those Wakina rifles. And the musket's doing exactly what they're supposed to, which is just being a meat shield. But the musket numbers are starting to dip a little bit. If we take a look for Mao Dun, he's got, oh my God, 62 military units compared to just how many from Aussie? Just 29 for Aussie. And the score lead is continuing to bloat in Brit's favor. And let's see, veteran longbows continuing to put down some long-range devastation. And now with the arrival of the artillery, I think this is where Britain is going for the esophagus. He's going straight for the heart of the Lakota base. He's going to be able to take out these war huts very efficiently with the artillery. And there's just not a lot here to stop him. There is a lot of heavy cav, and there's not a lot of dragoons left, but there still should be enough veteran musks to deal with it. He's going to need some sort of big pop. He's got 10 more Wakinas coming out. Hopefully they can avoid being attacked by the Falconets. Yes, they are going to get out without being volleyed. That's going to be very critical for this fight coming up. Town Center putting down damage. He's continuing to target. Oh, I like what he's doing here. Look at this guy's micro. Aussie, he's very specifically targeting the Dragoons and the Musketeers, and the heavy cav are going to be ready to charge any minute. And there is a significant lack of anti-cav. Are we going to be seeing a huge swing in favor of Lakota here? I don't know. There are still enough muskets to pose a threat. There are still 18 muskets on the field, but now it's actually the veterancy longbow numbers that are starting to go down a little bit, and he almost wanted to engage there, but decides not to. And let's see what else is coming out from Aussie. He's got more Axe Riders coming out, and are they going to be able to dive the Falconets? They're going for it, but it looks like they are not going to be able to. But now the reinforcing cavalry are coming, including the 3 Takalas, and this could be a cleanup, ladies and gentlemen. The British army is going to be massacred. The lack of anti-cav reinforcements is going to cost the British player dearly. Mao's longbows are going to be absolutely wiped by the remaining cav, and a couple might be able to retreat to home, but the falconets have been lost, the dragoons have been lost, the musketeers have been lost, and with more elite axe riders on the way, these guys will not survive. They're going to be caught, they're going to be snared, and these dragoons are not going to be able to slow down these axe riders for long. And what a huge fight for Aussie. Pardon my microphone peaking there, ladies and gentlemen, but oh wow, what a swing. The heavy cav switch completely catching Mao off guard. And yeah, just tremendous job by Aussie targeting the dragoons, targeting the musketeers, and he desperately wants to get these remaining longbows away, but I don't think they're going to get out in time, and he's going to lead them right to this town center. And there are a lot of villagers. There's 19 vills here, and it's very isolated from the main British base. And oh no, Mao's starting to make mills. Is this going to be a complete turnaround? The score gap, it really hasn't narrowed yet. It's still at 6K in favor of Brit. And of course, you know, Brit still has a lot of villagers. He's at 58 vills to only 42 for Lakota, but he's just lost so much military power. The longbow's finally in a decent position to ward off those remaining axe riders. And let's see what's going to happen here. 13 bison coming in from Aussie, so he's going to have no problem continuing food production. Though, God, now that I say that, his military production has kind of slipped too. And we'll have to see. I mean, still a 7K score gap, though, in favor of Mao. I mean, Brit is by no means done. His army has been substantially crippled. But, I mean, maybe Lakota is also at a pretty weak spot. He did lose all of that heavy cav. Mill probably going to be reclaimed for Lakota. That's going to be really good, especially since Brit is kind of struggling for food right now. Let's take a look at Mao's food economy. He's doing okay, but he's certainly not doing great. And both units, both players continuing to make as many military units as they can on limited economies at the moment. More axe riders versus more dragoons. And I think it's just going to come out to who controls their light infantry well. The longbows versus the Wakinas. Trading post coming down for Brit here. And what could he possibly be using this for? I guess maybe going for the Golden Rider? That is the only thing I can think of. War Hut coming down. Aussie trying to gain some map control, trying to actually pressure this town center here because he knows that there is so much economy wrapped up on this one coin mine. And I think he knows that, you know, Mao's definitely going to want to start moving out on these remaining hunts here as well. And yeah, I don't know. This is a close game, guys. I don't know who has it. Lakota doing a nice job also taking the resources on this side of the map. Britain's starting to feel very hemmed in, but maybe he's at the point where he can coast off of Mills and his villager lead. But his villager lead, I don't know, he's up 18 vills, but is that really, I mean, is that really something that surprises us in a Britain versus Lakota game? I don't know. Still continuing to produce from 2 town centers. But making it from 2 town centers while trying to get out dragoons, which are a 90 food unit, you know, we're starting to see the toll that that's taking on his limited food economy, especially since he's having to get mills and get the mill upgrades. And I mean, 400, 800, 1200, 1600 wood of investment. And Lakota continuing to gather on hunts and hasn't even thought about building farms as of yet. And Aussie, what is he doing? Oh my God, he's building up a ton of food. He's got 3,000 food in bank. Aussie, spend some food, brother. Though he is going to get a vill kill out here. The one British villager that was trying to hunt naturally. And that's why they're on mills, man. Because the Lakota are all over the map. And the containment here is looking really good for Aussie. He's got both mills, which is going to be giving him 2 food per second, which is not insubstantial. Though his army isn't really growing by all that much. He's actually making warriors? What? That's interesting. Corral coming down. It looks like he's starting to invest in the Axe Rider Wakina combo, which I feel like that'll do okay against Dragoon Longbow, but I mean, I don't know. Like, Mao's starting to get the number of Dragoons that is looking kind of scary here. He's got 21 goons and 27 longbows. Yeah, he's not going to get caught by another heavy cav switch, that's for sure. And the fight for the coin mines is also getting pretty intense. There's just not a lot of mines here. Oh my god, he went for the Saxon Curse? Oh, interesting. These guys have 574 HP, 20% range resist. These guys are actually really beefy. Looks like he wants to engage here. He's keeping his Dragoons and his Curs in the back, maybe hoping that Lakota will get overconfident here, but Lakota not taking the bait. He knows that he's outnumbered. And the score gap's still 8K in favor of Lakota. 2 villagers going down there for Lakota. Nice. 50 vills for Aussie and 71 for Mao. And I think Britain, even without the food, without the hunts, it still feels like he's in the driver's seat. I was saying all of these things on why Lakota was starting to get ahead, but man, this British army just has ballooned to a ridiculous size. And let's see, he's got one. Well, he's only got one upgrade. He's only got cavalry combat. Interesting. I thought he was going to send some of these infantry combats as well. Of course, they're all for musketeers and not really any for longbows. Corral going down there for Aussie, so a nice little win there for Mao. Wow, these guys are so shoved into the corner of the map. They're right next to the abyss. Yeah, he wants to engage these Axe Riders so bad, but I mean, there's just so many goons. So many goons. A lot of infrastructure going down here. It looks like Mao wants to start reclaiming the center, but there's just really not any resources left out here. There's one coin mine with about 1,200 coin in it. And now we're going to see it. The elite Axe Riders. Wow, that's a lot of Axe Riders, actually. That's, geez, 21 Axe Riders. And if they can get a nice surround on the longbows, but I don't think the goons are going to allow that to happen. And now we're seeing the fight. The Axe Riders are trying. Oh my god, a pop of Takala soldiers from the rear war hut. And that is going to be an absolutely devastating swing. These guys getting right on the Dragoons. And yes, the Curs are doing damage to the Wakinas on the back, but it's not going to matter. These guys are going to eat the longbows and the Dragoons for lunch. What a huge cavalry pop, ladies and gentlemen. That was clutch as hell. Oh my god, Aussie getting Mao in the perfect position, and look at that, Mao realizes it as well. He knows he is now absolutely cooked. There is no way he is going to be able to rebuild his army to that point ever again. And I think at this point, I mean, he's going to have to start building estates. And I wonder if we're going to be seeing the resign at any minute here. Oh my God, that was so clutch, ladies and gentlemen. The pop of the Takala soldiers. Oh, dude. Oh my gosh. My poor microphone. I'm looking at my audio and it's just like a line of peak. Guys, I am so sorry. I'm actually going to turn down my microphone a little bit. God, AoE 3 is too intense. It's too intense. And this town center is going to fall very, very quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mao, yeah, I mean, Mao's already retreated all of his villagers. Look at how many villagers are in exile here. There's 20. There's another 4 or 5. He's desperately trying to get up walls, but at this point, walls just feel like a waste of wood. And Mao's actually trying to get up to H4. Are you kidding me? Oh, God, there's no way. There's no way he makes it into H4 safely. What does he even do if he gets into H4? Send Gentlemen of the Pike? Send rockets? I mean, look at how much cav is here. There's no way. He has 33 coin. And are these villagers going to get found out? If these villagers get found out, it is absolute game. Let's take a look. Aussie, he doesn't see it yet. He's going to attack the main town. And yeah, with walls no longer being as buffed, they just go down so quickly to mass siege. And now villagers are going to start getting picked off here. Oh God, there's 5 goons in the back, but that ain't gonna be enough, son. The mills are being disrupted. The Wakinas, there's enough Wakinas here. They can just one-shot any villagers that are running astray. And I wonder if that's what he's going to try to do. Yeah, one villager going down. This TC is probably going to go down. There are 22 villagers in this town center. And what has he got coming out? He's got the Tycoon. So the 1,000 coin, that is going to provide absolutely nothing at the moment. And I'm actually surprised now it lasted that long. But he is now going to call the resign. And oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that was one for the books. Now, was it Game of the Year material? I don't know. It's probably a little too early to tell. But wow, like that game had me stumbling over my words the entire time. And oh God, this Cav pop, this War Hut right here, MVP, with 600 HP left. And the fact that it popped those Takalas right on top of the British Army. And I feel like if those guys had like just come in from the back, they really wouldn't have been enough to swing the fight because, you know, Mao would have been able to pull back or reorganize his goons. But just the fact that they came that quickly and there was no time to think, no time to retreat, no time to move. And he just had to try to melee against, you know, elite heavy cav with dragoons. That's not what they're made to do, obviously. But let's take a look at this game in more details. Guys, follow me to the post game. All right, guys, here we are for the post-game wrap-up. Resources actually turned out being really even despite the score lead and the Vill lead for Brit. I think that mainly has to do with him having to transition to mills towards the end there. And I was really curious as I was watching the game. In the back of my mind, I was like, why is this a game of the year? Britain's up 8K score. Seems like he's in a comfortable spot to win. But that just goes to show score is not everything. One bad fight can lose you the game. And look at this. Really even militaries. And again, like you look at those stats and you don't see the significance of that last engagement, but boy, did it turn the tide. And I think this is where we're going to see it in the military unit count. Oh my God, it's the Grand Canyon of AoE 3 graphs. Look at this, guys. 62 units at 30 minutes and 56 seconds. And by 31 minutes and 30 seconds, 7. That is ridiculous. And I mean, yeah, Lakota dropped from 75, but he dropped down to 52, which is, I mean, and then the reinforcing batches came almost immediately. So wow, 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 wow. What an absolute barn burner. I loved that game. I hope you guys did too. Again, sorry for the peaking microphone. I did not expect to do that much yelling during the match. But guys, I will be back with more Age of Empires 3 next week. Until then, have a great day. Have a great life. See you later.